And welcome. This is Voices in the Gallery, the official podcast of RoGallery in New York. I'm Steve Harper. This is a gallery that's been around for almost 40 years with over 30,000 pieces of artwork online. We're going to learn more about that gallery today from our founder, Robert Rogal, who joins us, and also the assistant director of the gallery, Jaime Villamarin, joins us on the program. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to go back to the beginning. 40 years. How did this happen for you, Rob? Where did the passion start?
Well, I guess back in the day when I first found an appreciation for art, I realized that not too many other people were interested in it, and nobody really wanted to buy it. And I had a passion for collecting, and I just started collecting and buying art that nobody else wanted. And at the time, I had a big building, and I could warehouse it. And it turned into buying out several publishers, and no way to sell it. It just was very difficult. There were times that I remember having to sell prints out of the trunk of my car just to try to pay the rent.
Why did you sell art? You could sell anything out of the trunk of your car. Meat. People drive around and sell that. Why art?
It was intriguing because there were some known artists that were in the collections that I tried to place, but many of the galleries get consignments from artists and different people, I guess, where they don't have to really put up any money for the art. They put up the space and they split with the collector or the artist that give them the artwork. And my approach was, you either buy it or I'll buy it and I'll hold on to it until I can maybe find a home for it. But I've always been in love with paper, and a lot of it has to do with paper, a lot of prints. Years ago, there were certain tax advantages for publishing, and I was involved with that business. But there was no outlets to market the artwork. There were very few, unless you were in the mail order business. That was about the capacity of selling art unless you had a retail gallery, and then that was very challenging as well.
Do you feel that works of art, it's almost like an orphan, it needs a home?
100%. People that live with blank walls, it's like living without music. I think that people that have art and images on the wall, it creates an environment that they can relate to, and that their family or their friends also see what kind of environment they live in, and it's inspirational.
Jaime, you've been with the gallery for 26 years and trailblazing in many ways with art available online. Can you take us through that journey?
Sure. So I guess Robert started the RoGallery website in '96. So it's very early. I joined the gallery in '99, so it did exist. RoGallery.com did exist. But when I got there, it was run by one person, and for various reasons, he moved on, and I was the one left behind. And for me, I started there as a web person. I did a lot of the website. I did some of the photography and Photoshop type things to get things online. And the work was basically trying to get what we had in the collection onto the internet, because the collection is vast, as you noted, and most of it was not cataloged. Half of it he didn't even know he had in the collection. So a lot of things we discovered, and we were finding things in the collection and getting them online. Now that was the early days. That was before the internet was really a trusted outlet for selling. It was the infancy of eBay, the infancy of Amazon, and all those companies. But we sure as heck, we listed things on eBay every day. And we were pretty much the only people doing it at the time. No one was doing it. We had our own website. We were probably the first to have an art website with our entire collection as it was growing. And that was we were at full speed trying to just get it out to the world. That was really how it felt in the early days. That was Internet 1.0. I think that we've already gone through Internet 2.0 and now probably 3.0, where people's comfort level of buying expensive things, most people are buying relatively inexpensive things online, have gone. Now people can buy things, no, not just a couple $100s, but into a couple $1,000 or $20,000 or even higher, value things. So the internet has really changed, and the trust that we've built, like just building and being there for all the time, has really developed into, people know who we are. People trust, that they're going to get what they buy from us. We've had the same building for 40 years. People can come visit us. People do visit us, and it's great when they do. But, we really are an internet company. We're by appointment only. So it's, we've really just kind of built up the internet trust that way. So that's really the journey. The journey's gone through a lot of different phases.
Walking through that gallery, I didn't want to leave. It's almost addictive. And I want to spin over to Robert with the word addiction to buying. That's what makes your gallery different. It's not about the consignment. You are buying these pieces. Would you say it's an addiction?
Absolutely. But I like buying. I love the hunt of finding things of undervalued treasures that exist in the world today, where people don't see the value that I see in them. And hopefully, sometimes I make mistakes, but hopefully overall, I think I've been pretty select in picking some treasures that we possess and that we've found a home for and managed to do well at enough to hire a team of people and pay our bills and pay our consigners and be a factor in this business.
You are connected to so many pieces of art, thousands within the gallery. I'm sure you have your own collection as well. Do you have any favorites, or do you look at them as they're children? And many times you ask a parent, who's your favorite child? I love them all the same. Do you feel that way with the art?
Well, no, there's certain works that you look at with higher value. It's not a matter of favorite. It's a matter of what the value of the piece might be, as to how you price it and what it might find a home for. I mean, we've had pieces that we've sold for as little as $50 or $100, but then we have pieces that we've sold for $1 million, and the pieces that we've sold for $1 million in other people's eyes would have never thought that it would bring that kind of money. But a lot of it has to do with who the artist is and what the image was, the period of the artwork, the what went into it, and just how that artist might have excelled during that time period. It's like having a hit record. Some guys are known for one song, and other guys can produce albums of hits one after another. So art's a little bit like music. So it goes with the territory of following a particular artist that one might like.
You mentioned music, and you gave this analogy when we walked through the gallery. And I never thought of it this way, but I love all art. I find it hard to get connected to abstracts. And maybe I'm overthinking it, but you compared it to jazz music. I was like, it was fantastic.
Sure, because it's the same thing. Some of the abstraction, whether it's a scribble of lines or a mixture of colors, is similar to musicians that are not following notes on a particular song. They just all put their input into that music. I think artists do the same thing. Artists do collaborate with other artists, or artists get inspiration from other artists, and to formulate what they can put visually on canvas or on paper, and that's how they end up with a finished piece of art.
Jaime, RoGallery ships anywhere around the world, and it's all secure. How do you get that done? These are potentially very expensive pieces that need to be shipped.
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's actually one of the strengths of the gallery. So we have the most amazing shipping department, and his name is Ramesh. He is masterful. He can ship anything from a $50 poster in a shipping tube to, let's say, a giant bronze sculpture where he has to build a crate. Like it's like building a house. He builds this intricate crates that protect these, amazing things, like, that are delicate parts sticking off. There's arms and legs and tails of horses, and he'll figure out how to protect it and know that when that crate is dropped, that the thing that he built on the inside of that crate will take the impact and not damage the art. It's amazing to watch, and I've seen him do it he's been with us for 20 years or so. It's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable man, and that is how you ship things. You have someone who cares about what he does as much as we care about what's going inside. And it's a really amazing thing to see, and I feel like I've learned a lot from him. Could I do what he does? No. It would
And
take
a responsibility, right?
but he has this innate ability to look at something. He's like as good as any scientist. He does it without math. He just does it with his brain, and it's pretty amazing to see. So that's how you get things around the world. It would probably take me 6 months to build the crate that he takes an afternoon to build, something crazy like that. Can I get a poster in a tube and get it out to you? Yes, sure. Of course I can do that. But I'll do that about 3 times a day. He'll do 30 or 50 times a day. So it's really about having the right person and, doing it. And he's masterful.
He makes it an art.
Yeah.
Art goes in and art goes in.
He's a master craftsman in his own area.
Also, people say about the packaging that it was like a piece of art. They don't even want to open it because they never get such a secure package.
Yeah.
So.
Some people can't even ask us how to open it because it's so like a safe. It really is. It's it's amazing. That's how you do it. And they do it because you really have someone who can really do it.
Next thing.
Yeah, you have to be able to expedite our business.
Yeah.
And people today, when they buy something, they want it like they used Amazon already. They want it yesterday. So, and we try to process things where people have bought things in the afternoon, and even if it requires framing, sometimes we can get it to them by the next day.
Wow.
So we're very fortunate to be able to have some shipping companies and private services that we use for the tri-state area, as well as some major organizations that come by every day and pick up shipments from us.
What's your advice to somebody who is considering starting a collection at the ground level?
Buy what you like. We don't talk anybody into anything. It could be something that they relate to. Could be an artist that they follow. It could be any kind of art, from a portrait to an abstract piece, as you mentioned. It could be an animal and wildlife. It could be any category of art that you might think of. There are images out there that could relate to that person, and they like being in that environment with their images around them.
I have to say, in relation to that, one of my favorite things is actually when someone buys something that I personally like. Like I always say, just like he says, buy it because you like it. You are going to live with it. It's going to be in your space. It's going to give you energy. You're going to get a lot of ideas from it. But at the same time, it gives me pleasure to see someone buy something that I like personally. And so then I have this connection with that person also. And we can talk about it. And then when we talk about it, they're going to bring it home and they're going to talk about it with someone else that sees it and appreciates it in their home or wherever they're going to put it. And so they also have this connection. And I think that to me is having a connection to the art is, really important. Like it's just a big part of what we do.
What happens,
And I always say,
it becomes a dialogue. Artwork is a dialogue. It's a dialogue, whether it's a sculpture, a photograph, a print, a painting. These are various categories of artworks that become a dialogue for a conversation in your office, in your home, in your yard, in your life. These subjects that 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 you can relate to, and you're proud to own it. You happen to be proud to live with it. They become a little bit like your children. If you want to introduce your children, you talk about art. I believe you had a conversation with Dr. Hirsch, and you can see how passionate he is about his collection and his artwork, and probably went on and on about it.
The passion, I've never seen anything like it. Honestly, between both of you, and even when you ship something out, I get a visual of a grandmother making a meal. There's love going into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're happy to be able to provide a piece of art that becomes their dialogue they're going to live with. I just had a woman that was in her 80s buy a major Remington sculpture from us that she called, and she just loved it. She was so happy with it. And, you say to yourself, gee, here's a woman in her 80s buying a Remington of the Four Horsemen. What's that?
It was
It was a substantial
large bronze sculpture
that we just created and shipped to her, and she was very happy receiving it. And it does give us a feeling of satisfaction, and people are happy with what they get. And sometimes we miss it, sometimes we don't, but that's our job.
You made a dream come true in this space. This is your museum, open just a few months. In a sentence, why'd you do it?
We did it. This is a nonprofit. We did it so the public can enjoy seeing artwork, that they can come to a museum. We're in Long Island City, and Long Island City is not does have some museums, but not too many. It's not like Manhattan, even though we're only a couple of miles away from Manhattan. But people come here from all over, and people want to see things on display. And we feel like we have different artists and different collections that can be shown in the museum.
Robert and Jaime, thank you for everything that you do, your passion, and I appreciate you being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having us.
To learn more, go to RoGallery.com.